Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently up 0.36% to 46,663. Wow, a lot of sixes. Ethereum up 0.13% to 3523. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explained the smart money mindset. My goal is to help you to succeed one trade at a time by combining the strengths of investing and trading to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. And thank you for being part of our globally extended family. I appreciate you being here. You were brought to this channel for a reason, and that reason is to increase the amount of blessings in your life and those you love. When you look at a market like this, there's two ways to look at it: from a retail perspective or professional perspective. Basically, a retail perspective looks at the red and gets scared, and a professional perspective looks at the red and starts to get really interested. What you will find the longer that you are in the market, there's basically three sets of rules. There's the rules that lose money, the rules that make money, and the rules that keep money. They're all different formats of rules. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, people want certainty. They want it to be green, and green forever. Probability is that's not going to happen because price is always moving in a wave. This is really important to understand. How you make money and keep money in a market is to focus on probability and rules. It's a different way of thinking. And something that I would like you very much to keep in mind: life is always waiting for you to be ready for abundance. Success is always within reach. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Every day is a day to begin again. All you need is a knowledge of the rules and how to apply them, and you will be successful. It just does take time, but you will be successful if you know the rules. One very important rule is Rule 45. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. When people first get into the market, they're not interested in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, that's so boring. I've got my 1,000 to 1 long shot, my very small cap micro crypto, and I just want to look at that. What you will find over time is that Bitcoin plays out its gravity. It impacts the gravity of your beloved alts. If you want to know what's happening with your alts, you need to understand Bitcoin. And understanding Bitcoin is not easy to do. And I'm not talking about what is Bitcoin, what are blockchains. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the price action of Bitcoin. When we looked at Bitcoin over the past couple of days, we were trying to decide if it would come down into A or go up into C. Naughty Bitcoin, it did both. But you can see how strong this resistance line is above the price. It's been holding the price back. It's been suppressing it. There have been a lot of sellers up there pushing it down, but we've got a level of support below here, and that's held the price quite well. Marking up your charts or marking the support and resistance levels on your charts is very important. It literally gives you a window into the future. You can see the rejections of this resistance line here. We almost got above it when the price spiked up into that C area, but then it was squashed down. Crypto. Crypto is incredibly volatile, and we see this kind of behavior all the time. When there are concentrated sell-offs in the market, what we find is the major indices tend to align. This is the NASDAQ 100. Look at the NASDAQ 100. It's absolutely aligning itself with Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is aligning itself with the NASDAQ 100. We've seen the number of shorts come out of the market. It's starting to increase just a little bit. At the same time, we've seen the number of longs dramatically decrease in the market, and now it's starting to come up. So how has this actually played out in the market? Over the past 24 hours, we've had 198.78 million in liquidations across 81,670 positions. In the past 4 hours, over 85% of those liquidations were short liquidations. What about across the past 12 hours? About 71% were long liquidations. Past 24 hours, 74% again. What we can see, we've had a majority of long liquidations, but just recently, within the past couple of hours, those liquidations have been short liquidations. This gives you an understanding that both longs and shorts get liquidated inside the crypto market. If you're under leverage trading at the moment, please be aware that it's incredibly dangerous and you can wipe out your account. I wouldn't recommend it. Our beloved community members say friends don't let friends leverage trade, and that comes from people who have leverage traded and been wiped out in the process. Just like a detective, we can try to dig more deeply and try to understand what is actually going on inside the market. When we look at fear and greed, when there's a lot of fear inside the market, prices come down. When there's a lot of optimism, prices go up. What are we seeing here? There's been a lot of fear inside the market. We're starting to get optimism, and something else that is very, very powerful. We can look at aggregated open interest. We can see aggregated open interest is starting to increase. There's a very strong correlation between aggregated open interest and Bitcoin's price. And you know, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. That means your beloved alt is pushed around by Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin's such a bully. In the past 7 days, we've seen some really interesting behavior from some alts. Audio is starting to make its way up. It's increased 68.05% in the last 7 days. SKL up about 50, Cello up around 47%, Aave 40%, ZIL nearly 40%, NEAR 34%, Comp 30%, SNX just a little over 27%, Cake 23%, Solana 23%, CVX 22.5%. This is a good way to keep your eye on the market. And if you look at particular cryptos, you can see how volatile things get. What is this crypto? The way you actually find out what a particular crypto is, in TradingView, you can just double click on the line. That's Zilliqa or ZIL. And we can see ZIL has dropped out of the top spot. It was up substantially previously. That's why you've got to be really careful about buying in at higher levels. It actually subjects you to enormous risk. Within 3 days and 17 hours, ZIL actually came down 37.71%. This is why we're very reluctant to buy when it's green. It's going on the wrong side of the percentage. When people first get into the crypto market, they want to make 1000x. They want to do really, really well. Just pick one particular thing. Leave it. Hodl on for dear life. Hold on for dear life. Hodl. So what they tend to do is this. They're hodling, and keep on hodling. That's really normal because a lot of the influencers out there, they know how to invest, but they do not know how to trade. When we look at the panic zone and the blame zone, which is zone 1 and zone 2 of the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through, to recognize yourself in any of these particular zones is not an issue. Every single trader and investor goes through them. One of the biggest differentiating factors between people who are just starting, and we call that retail, and people who are professional is the difference when they buy. Retail buys on green and sells on red. They tend to go all in and all out. They're addicted to the news, but the news is manipulated. So being addicted to that news indicators certainty just creates sleepless nights and very, very high stress. You can actually determine what is happening to the market through the charts. It's very, very predictive. When you lose the fantasy of certainty, you lose the terror, and you actually move into probability and rules. One major thing that you will do is make percentages work for you. You do that by buying on red, and it's easier said than done. You have to have a very, very specific mindset, and you need to know what you're doing. So you need to know knowledge. It's not just the thing that you buy on red and hope. Hope, luck, praying, gambling, all of those things are inside zone 1 and zone 2. Buying on red but not knowing what you're doing will absolutely wreck your account. You have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing. We said that inside zone 1, people want 1000x gain. They want enormous percentages. They want to turn $1,000 into $117,000 in one hit. There's another way to do it, and this is simply a conceptual example that shows you that if you got 10% per week compounded, you would actually make 11,639% in a year. The concept is not about making 10%. It's not about a literal 10%. What it's about is to understand that small percentages, when accumulated over time, create big, big gains. That's what it's about. This will take all the pressure and stress off you, and also the need to feel like you're not worthy unless you get a 300, 400, 1000% return. Those things are toted by retail amateurs. That doesn't have to be you. You can be just professionally focused on getting a percentage that makes sense from the specific crypto that you're involved with. Sometimes 10% is way too little. It really depends on the volatility. That means you need a lot of knowledge, a lot of rules. You must have patience to wait for the red to come, and you must have patience to wait for the green to sell. You need a real wealth philosophy that will focus you on adding meaning to your life. When you look through the lens of real wealth, you understand that money is a byproduct of you earning what you get, and you always keep what you earn. Rule 5, you can always buy lower. This is another key rule. I'd like to sum up the difference between retail thinking and professional thinking in just 2 charts. This is ZIL, this is waves. This is past price action. I'm going to reveal what happened next. These overextensions, these waves, they're too dramatic. They can't sustain themselves. And what do we see? A fall. And when you look at that fall, you might say, Ken, that's not much of a fall. Look how much it went up. If we actually zoom in there, that was a 41.37% fall. That means if you had have invested, if you had have been unlucky enough to buy that exact top with $10,000, you would have just lost $4,137. That's a lot of money. Let's have a look at waves. We can see waves just bolting out of the gate. Professionals look at this and say, ay caramba, can we sell this? Do we have this? Can we sell this? But retail says, can we buy this? Look, I'm so certain it's going to keep on going up and up and up. Whoa, what happened? Poor old waves. Let's have a look at that percent decline. That one is even worse than ZIL. It's 48.5%, which means if you had $20,000 and you put $10,000 into ZIL and $10,000 into Wave, and you were so unlucky that you bought the exact top on that right there and right there, you would have lost $4,137 on ZIL and $4,850 on Waves. Professionals don't look at these particular charts and say, wow, that's fantastic, I want to get in. They look at them and say, ouch, that is really overextended. What professionals do is they look for something like this kind of chart pattern. They want to get in near the bottom. A lot of retail investors think they can buy the bottom. You cannot buy the bottom. You don't know it's a bottom until it's hammered itself out as being a bottom. You can only use probabilities. What we do is engage ourselves early in specific trades when they have the capability of taking off. And it's so good to see red in the market because that makes the percentage move in the right direction for us. You can see how people they could say, oh, buy on red. Oh, Ken, you mean buy this? No, I don't. This is the thing why you need knowledge. There's a lot of deep dive foundations that you need to understand before you can get really profitable in the markets. One thing is to just bear in mind the overall structure and the overall personality of the crypto. Is it really spiky like NEAR? NEAR can spike up and down all over the place, and that is very common for NEAR. What is its personality? Crypto technical analysts have the skill to scientifically track investor attention. Investor attention is measured by price, which is reality, not future promises. People invest on promises. Traders trade on reality. But there's an interesting dynamic between investors and traders. All investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. The problem is many investors do not know how to trade. For example, when I went through ZIL and waves, many investors would get in around the top and start losing money. Promises are very important, absolutely, but they're still promises. They may not ever happen. Reality is all that we have. And crypto technical analysts have very specific skills. They know how to mark up the charts. They know how to collect probabilities, find the market's focus, get their thinking correct from an abundance, not scarcity mindset, and then they have tools and techniques through which to buy and to sell. Looking at the top 8, we can see Bitcoin starting to consolidate. It's above previous levels of resistance. It's finding support around the current price, but we've just got to keep our eye on where things are going. Ethereum, very strong wave up. And what you can see is this blue line. That's Bitcoin's gravity. You'll see that no alt can escape that gravity. The gravity will play out on all the alts. From time to time, you will find a minority, a handful of alts moving in the opposite direction to Bitcoin's gravity. In that case, they're really interesting to look at, but they don't stay decorrelated for long. It's gravity for a reason. It snaps it back. Let's quickly check the main stock market. And the reason we do this is because we know that the stock market is way oversized when it compares to the crypto market. 2 trillion versus around 120 trillion, and the bond market is even bigger, over 120 trillion. The stock market is a risk on. Bond markets is risk off. When we see bond prices going up, bond yields come down because they move inversely. That's a mathematical certainty. They're just related in that way. And stocks, what actually happens with stocks? When we get risk on behavior, people come out of bonds and this lowers their price. And this actually increases their yield because people want a greater and greater yield, which is a return on those bonds, to stay in them because they feel that stocks are going to outperform bonds. And the crypto market, as you can see, it's just like a little tiny baby. Crypto is so tiny, but it's at the start of its journey. We literally have decades and decades to run with the crypto industry. It's just starting its adoption cycle. And when we get to hyper adoption, crypto will absolutely change the world. So the question is, what is crypto? It's the ownership layer of the next generation of the internet, Web 3.0. And what I've done for you here, I've put Bitcoin's actual price gravity on here so that you can see it. When we look at the VIX, Masterclass students, you'll get this chart in TM6. We can see that the VIX did come up a little bit and now has collapsed down. What does that mean? Fear is leaving the market. What does that actually do? It drives the major indices up, and we're looking at the NASDAQ 100. It restores economic confidence. When fear explodes, we get big sell-offs in the market. But look at this. This is unsustainable. You remember ZIL and you remember waves. This is the other direction. What does that actually mean? It means that the majority of professional investors and traders would expect that the NASDAQ 100 will come back and find support, for example, around the 14,575 mark. And that would be absolutely realistic because price is always moving in a wave. Rule 4. When we see bond prices, which is economic concern, bond prices are going down. So we've got more confidence, we've got less concern. What about geopolitical risk as measured through gold? Gold is stabilizing in a very narrow channel, and it's in a long-term uptrend. That is really important to understand. What about the DXY, the US dollar currency index? It's below a heavy level of resistance. It's been rejected from there. What about bond yields? We know bond prices and bond yields, the return on bonds, they just move inversely. So it doesn't surprise us what we're seeing here. And then oil. Oil is very geopolitical at the moment, of course, with what's happened with Russia. And we can see a long-term support line under here. You can just draw it in with your eye. What I said a couple of episodes ago, we would expect the price of oil to come back and then do a technical bounce. That is exactly what it's done. When we look at the 5-year break-even inflation rate, it's starting to come down. This is really good stuff because it means the Fed's words have been taken on board by the market. Why is that good? Because if the Fed saw that the inflation was just running rampant as we were going up, it would have to do greater and greater quantitative easing, and the result would be it would spike fear and collapse the indices and raise up bond prices and raise up gold and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But the concept is we're not seeing that. This is actually really positive. I'd just like to let the Coffee Club members know that as promised yesterday, I've released the new post for this month. I'd like to thank all the very kind and generous community members who reached out and bought me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. Thanks so much, everyone. I'd especially like to thank Oscar and Rect. Rect, such a beautiful sense of humor, my friend. And Badger. Hi, Ken. Just wanted to thank you for all your incredible hard work and commitment. Your masterclass is for anyone who wants to be able to trade and invest in cryptocurrency professionally. They will acquire real wealth with inner and outer peace along the way. It has personally transformed my life for the better in so many ways. That's just beautiful, Badger. And thank you very much, Bob. Very nice of you. Thank you, Ken. Really appreciate your channel and teachings. And I always log out of these comments before I read them. So I always keep people's personal details personal and private. I don't share them with other people. Someone said, I'm so grateful I found your channel and your masterclass. It's been life-changing. I can't thank you enough, my friend. Thanks very much. It was a beautiful comment. Steve, masterclass is gold. Once you start thinking as an investor, trader, you look at crypto and investing from a different perspective. I still can't comprehend that I smile on the red days. My fear has disappeared. I think I'm becoming a good firefighter. You are, my friend. You're doing really well. I hope more people join your masterclass and understand firsthand the power of trading. I currently have a balanced portfolio that I'm comfortable with, using 30% for trading. And this is a beautiful thing. You can use whatever percentage you feel comfortable and confident with. Thank you very much, Ahmed. And Crypto Spartan, hello to the KS family. Hello, Crypto Spartan. Very nice. And thank you very much to Levi. Levi says, hi, my name is Levi. Thank you for all your content. I just got started on crypto and a lot of things started to make sense with your videos. So beautiful. Thank you, Levi. And thank you to Signs Of. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Peace and love. That's just so beautiful. And Romax. I just joined the masterclass and I'm so thrilled to finally see how this works. Romax is 61. Just beautiful, my friend. I feel blessed to have found you in this community of beautiful souls through my son. We're all connected and are learning from each other. And Romax, I'm wishing you and your family, your beloved family, safety and protection. And thank you very much for this person who also donated a coffee. And another person, hi Ken, have a coffee, sit down and relax for 5 minutes. That's a long time for you. It is, my friend, you know me too well. And Vicente, a very beloved community member, thank you so much. And Brandon, positivity, Ken, your positivity and information is such a blessing. Thank you, my friend. Johan, thanks so much. And Bluebird and June as well. Thank you for your kind comments. When you get into the crypto market, you need to be like a detective. You have to look at all the facts and evidence that's flying around out there, and there's a lot of noise and not a lot of signal. But when you look for the signal, you'll see specific signs that give you an advantage. And of course, if you can draw up your charts using the CTKS method, you'll make better decisions. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Where do you think Bitcoin is going? Do you think it will move up to C or to D, or down to A, or even down to B? There's a lot of conflicting things in the market at the moment, but there's one general overall presence. I'm really interested if you spot it. It's also really great to talk about inside our community, and our community is very kind. It's kind and loving and caring. So you'll find people in there that support conversations and not any form of antagonism. And if you're a little bit shy, and that's okay, you might like to just put down the letter A, B, C, or D. And if you haven't spoken, if you've just been on the side and haven't actually made any comments, we would love to hear from you. It's just such a nice thing for the community to bond more and more. And all you have to do is just say hi. And the beautiful thing to always keep in your mind, life is always waiting for you to be ready for abundance. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you here. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. And to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use and the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass links. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.